Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It is Monty
and Lil, and today we're doing something a little bit different for this video. So a couple of days ago, Monty put on our Instagram story like what a hard topic that you guys wanted to hear from our viewpoint about. And the one with the most votes ended up being us talking a little bit about why we're pro-life, and so that is the topic that we've chosen for today. However, before we really get started, we have two disclaimers that we're going to give. And the first one is that if you're a kid, a younger person, then maybe like skip along to the next video because this is a highly sensitive topic. And then the second one is that this is just our opinions and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So if you disagree, that's okay. But please respect our opinions, and we will respect yours.
Yeah.
So
before we really get into this, I'd like to share some Bible verses, and then we're going to explain what they mean, and then we'll get what into abortion is and all that kind of stuff. So the first Bible verse I'd like to share comes from Psalms 139, verse 13 through 16, and it says, "For you formed my inward parts, you wove me in my mother's womb. I will give thanks to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, and skillfully wrought in depths of the earth. Your eyes have seen my unformed substance, and in your book were all written, the days that were ordained for me, when as yet there was not one of them." So this is basically saying that when we were formed, God already knew us from the very beginning, and I feel like because to him we were precious, and to him we are already humans, and I feel like we should not be aborted because that takes that away.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, and the verse is also talking about how before we're even born, how when we're still in our mother's wombs, God has already planned out and ordained all the days that he has for us. So when we're okay with just killing these fetuses or babies in the womb, then we're saying no to what God has already planned and ordained for each individual life.
Yes. Okay, now
sorry for the quick change in location. Her family came back, so we needed to move into her room. So we're just going to pick up where we left off, and she was going to read the second Bible verse.
Okay, so this is from Jeremiah 1:5, and it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you. I have appointed you a prophet to the nations." So this is also saying that before we were even formed in our mother's womb, God knew us from the very beginning. And I just feel like we as humans should not have the right to take that away,
we
don't have the right to take away a baby, because that's God's gift to not only to us and to the parents, but I just feel like we don't have a right to take a life away.
And then there's a lot of people who talk about how if it's rape or something, these girls or women shouldn't be forced to have a baby that they don't even want, or if the baby's going to be born into an abusive home or something, it would be better off for them to just never be born at all. But that still doesn't give us the right to kill someone.
Yeah, it's still killing.
Yes,
and that's not
and
okay.
honestly, in cases of rape, what they have found is that girls are actually going through twice the trauma, getting that happening and then having an abortion as well. It just doubles the trauma that they've already been through. And so it really isn't man's place to decide what God has already ordained. And so the next reason as to why we're pro-life, yes, we're pro-life mainly because of our faith.
Yeah.
And that is what God says. But we're also pro-life because that is what the science points to. And so we have a couple of things that we're going to go through pretty quickly in this video, just talking about how science actually shows that life begins at conception and other things. So we're going to read a couple of sources for these points, and it's all from this lady named Isabel Brown, and she has a master's degree in biomedical sciences. And so the first question is, when does life begin? And she says, the more scientists research the miracle of life, the more we come to the consensus that life begins at conception. The moment when the full complement of genetic material is established in human beings is the only biologically unique point in time on which to base personhood. This moment corresponds with conception. So even science recognizes that life, the only point to really pinpoint when life actually begins is at conception. And so really anytime after that, it's really not okay to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next thing we're going to look at is how unborn babies actually feel pain. And that's right here, so you can read that.
So yes, most scientists study parental development have found that unborn babies can feel pain, including during abortion procedures. A 2001 Bioethics Journal article by Dr. David and Michael Banator found data showing how, on balance, it tends more to support than undermine the claims that fetuses are around 28 to 30 weeks gestation are capable of feeling pain. So, so from this article, from these scientists and what they have done, and the study has shown that they can feel pain, and that's absolutely not okay with us. And yeah, we shouldn't harm them. And if they can feel pain, then yes, they're humans. Like, you know,
if they have a nervous system already.
So that's
Yes. And we know that the common thing to say is like, my body, my choice. It's part of women's rights.
Like,
however, we don't think that the
not
fetus,
to that extent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fetus is its own living. It has its own heartbeat. It's not part of the woman's body.
Yeah.
And if you say that life doesn't begin at conception, then when does life begin? Then when do you draw the line? When the baby is actually like fully born.
Yeah.
But
I feel like with all the abortion laws changing, because now you can still have an abortion when they're out of the mother's womb, I feel like that is just more of an excuse to murder for no reason, honestly.
Yeah, like, no, you can't argue that once the baby's already out, it's still a part of you. Like, that argument, no. There is a lot of judgment, I think, especially among Christians, for women that have had an abortion. And the thing to understand is that God's forgiveness is so much greater than all of our sins. Yes, we don't believe that abortion is okay, and we think that those who have committed it have made a mistake. However, God will forgive you if you just ask him to. And so we believe that all of those babies, the hundreds upon millions that have been killed since Roe v. Wade, all of those babies are in heaven right now with Jesus. And so if you're a Christian, you will get to see your baby again then. And there's so many stories. Like, we watched the movie Unplanned.
Oh, yeah. So if you guys want to watch that, I think it'd be really cool. Yeah, it's a great movie, and you can see things from a different perspective, and that's what I liked about it. And it was just very eye-opening to see what it's really like from someone's perspective of working there, and then to fully see her change.